Hi, today we're going to be talking about Icy Strait Point, which is a port of call in Alaskan cruises, and we're also going to review the excursion that we did.
Yeah, if you're wondering where Icy Strait Point is, well, it's right by the town of Hoona, Alaska, and we'll get a little bit more on that a little bit later. I'm Brad.
I'm Kim.
And we're 626 Ohana, California.
First, we're going to talk about getting off the ship. So the dock is actually kind of far out from everything, except for the whale watching excursion. So if you get off to go whale watching, you get off the boat and you go straight onto a little boat and they take you out. Other than that, you have to kind of walk up to the town.
That dock walk is a long walk.
Well, the good news is they do have a little, like a golf cart shuttle for those that have disabilities.
Yeah, Mimi had to use it because she was having knee problems at the time. And actually, it'll take you a lot of places. It's actually a neat shuttle and it is free.
So the first place you go into in town is if you go on that little shuttle golf cart, or if you walk, is to a building where it's kind of like a terminal, if you will.
Yeah, it's a welcoming center type of area. Thing we should mention, there are two docks. The dock when we went there wasn't, the second dock wasn't open yet. If you're getting confused where we're at, I'll show a map right now. We're at this first dock, but the second dock does connect with the gondola, and we'll get into that again a little bit later. But that welcome center is kind of neat. It's just a nice little neat area. That's where you'll meet some of the excursions you can do there. So talking about excursions, we didn't have to meet there for our excursion. We met on the dock, and what one we did was
the whale watching cruise, which was 2.5 hours long. So we chose to do whale watching in Icy Strait Point because it's home to Alaska's largest summer population of humpback whales.
Yeah, basically they guarantee you're going to see a whale.
It's 100% guarantee or you get your money back.
That's kind of cool to have a guarantee or your money back on the whale watching. But truthfully, these captains know where to go. And you'll see a fleet of boats kind of going out about the same time. And it's actually a lot of fun, but you'll have everybody around trying to get pictures and everything. Let's talk about the excursion first. First thing to be aware of, if you need something plugged into these boats that require outlet, and unfortunately we had somebody on our boat that could not go because they needed an outlet, they may not be able to accommodate you.
So I think if it was some kind of oxygen medical machine, they could not plug in, so she could not go.
If you're using an ECV or needed special assistance, please check with your cruise line before you go if they'll be able to accommodate what you need. So a great thing about this tour is one thing they have on there is
an onboard naturalist, which is kind of cool because they're telling you all about these humpback whales, other ocean life mammals, animals you'll see, and it's just kind of cool to be able to ask questions and hear about just different animals that you're not familiar with.
Yeah, it's really cool. They're really educated. We've actually were able to talk to our naturalist and the captain of the boat at the same time, which brings up our second thing is if you're on those boats, if you're on the bow of the boat, move to the upstairs.
If you can, because down below got really crowded. I'm 4.5, and I had a difficult time seeing, and because there were so many people, and really it's just harder to see.
And I'll show you a picture right now. I actually have, this is me with my arms raising up, and I still had people with their arms raising up with cameras, and this was in the bow of the boat, and it was really hard to see. So once you get up to the top of the boat, it's a lot less crowded, and you can move around a lot easier, and you get a great view. But be aware there are stairs for those who may have mobility issues.
So I realized that there was all this great stuff going on down below, that people are seeing whales and I couldn't see over anybody. So I got our son and I was like, let's go upstairs because it's not worth it if we can't see anything. Yeah, it was still hard to see up there because it's harder to move, but we did have a better advantage point.
Yeah, she didn't realize I already left it before her, and she's like, where did it go? And I was already upstairs because it was a lot better.
Yeah, my poor mom was not able to go upstairs. She had a hip problem, so that kind of limited her, and she felt like she didn't enjoy it as much because really on our excursion, people got a little pushy and shovey.
Yep. There are a ton of whales. They'll see a ton. You'll see breaches. You see so much. I have so much footage of it. And it's just a matter of being quick. So make sure you have your camera and binoculars with you.
But we did get to see those whales, and it was amazing. And it was just the scenery and all the snow in the mountains. It was just gorgeous.
And when we went, actually the water was pretty flat and pretty calm. I get seasick easily. I had not a problem. But I did have seasick bands with me just in case.
But I really don't think you would have had a problem. It was like glass.
No. So after we got back on our excursion, we went to our dock and crossed the dock over and went back towards that welcome center. After we got to the welcome center, after you get outside, what's the first thing you see?
The gondolas.
Yeah. So Icy Strait Point has 2 gondolas.
So the first one is a free transporter gondola. It takes you up to hiking hills. They have, I think that's where they have a ropes course, adventure course that goes down there. And just kind of a little area you can walk around. It has a little store up there. It's just a beautiful view.
Yeah, it's a nice, easy gondola. Just up a little bit of hill, down a little bit of hill. And actually on the other side, that's where the second dock is going to be, where they come over. So it's kind of just a little transport back and forth. There's little shops on both sides. So if you're coming from that second one, you can get down to the other shops and restaurants that are down below. Really, it's an easy one. I wouldn't worry about it. Even if you're afraid of heights, it doesn't feel that high.
It doesn't. It's not bad at all.
Now let's get to our second gondola.
So you can get up and transfer to the higher gondola, which is a sky glider gondola, and it reaches 1,600 feet. Includes hiking trails. That's where the world's largest zip liner goes kind of up there and then leaves from there.
Yeah, you can actually watch them going down. And actually, that zip line is higher. We'll get a little bit more into that. But that gondola, Kim and I are both skiers. We love skiing. We've been on gondolas skiing a lot. That one freaked me out.
Yeah, it went extremely vertical. And like I said, Brad and I grew up skiing. We're used to a lot of gondolas. But this one had us a little nervous.
Yeah, it was basically sheer faces. You're looking down. Beautiful views. I mean, we had a great view of the harbor and the ship and everything right there in the whole little area. But if you're afraid of heights, do not go on this one.
Now, this may not be a free gondola. Now, it was included in our whale watching cruise. A lot of the excursions, if you go through them, they will include this second gondola as part of your package, if you will. And if you don't, then they'll charge if your cruise line does not pay for it.
Yeah, so up top of there, you're going to have different little trails and things to walk around and for sightseeing and stuff like that. We didn't do that because we ended up going back. We're like, yeah, we just need to get down. So when you do get to the base of that, that's where you're going to meet for your zip line. So they're going to have everything there for your equipment, and there's a little welcome center there as well.
And this is the world's largest zip line at 1,300 feet. And it goes up to speeds of 60 miles per hour.
Yeah, our recommendation is be over at the end of where that first dock is and watch them come down. Go up the gondola and go up the second gondola and see if you really want to do it because it's high.
It is. And actually the sky glider gondola, it actually is up higher than that. So you're in the gondola looking up at the cable still. So I don't think I could have done that.
Yeah. Our son, he wants to do it. And we said, well, we'll see you next time. We're not doing it, though.
Yeah, I guess Mama Bear, it's kind of hard to watch that.
Yeah. But really, we had a lot of people on our cruise that did it and said they absolutely loved it, had a great time doing it. Even made us feel like scaredy cats when we had a couple that had to be in their mid-60s that did it.
At least.
And they loved doing it. We're like, okay.
I mean, good on them.
Yes, absolutely. They had a great time. They said absolutely loved it.
Kind of cool thing is it goes 6 people at a time, so it's kind of like they're racing down.
Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and go down to the main island and talk about the main island. What's cool about the main island is, there's a lot of wildlife around.
There's also an area called Chickacough Island, which is known as Bear Island. There are 1 to 2 bears per square mile, which is the most concentrated bear population in the world.
More bear than people.
We didn't see any.
Yeah, but we did see a lot of wildlife and just people taking pictures. You'll see a ton of eagles. It's a beautiful area and really, we enjoyed it.
I wish we could have done the whale watching cruise with the bear watching excursion. I wasn't able to book it that way. It was already sold out.
Yeah.
But that probably would have been one of the greatest places to go for that.
Thing is with those bear
tours
is that those sometimes, depending on the time of the season, may be very hard for you to see bears if they're waking out of their winter slumber yet.
All right, so they were still hibernating while we were there, so there really wasn't bears around.
Yep.
So, good and bad.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the area for shopping, eating. It's just a whole area. So this whole area was once a cannery for the town of Hoona.
So this is actually like a restored cannery building from 1912. And it's actually a museum, which is free of charge to anybody that's there. And you can kind of get an idea what it would look like and the process. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Kim kind of looked at it. Hayden and I really went in depth and looked at everything, while she got to go do some shopping that's in the same building.
So the shopping was really cool. They had some like local handmade items, and they had some things that were more from mainland. So they kind of tell you that you're kind of leaving and going to more of a corporate area versus more of, I guess, local arts and lotions and soaps and foods and things like that.
Yeah, and it's really cool that they have that type of shopping available. That's some of the local area stuff. You will have people from the local town of Hoona that live there year round, and Hoona's actually about a mile or so down the road from the cannery. So I don't know if we never went there, but you can go there.
There's a shuttle over there.
But you'll find most of the people actually that are working these are not local. They're just there for the season.
What a cool place to live. For summer at least. I don't know about winter, but
yeah,
we really love this area. I also, when I bought in the shops, I got some nice hand salve because my hands were getting pretty dry out there, and I really liked it.
Yeah, it was a great area. Another great thing about Icy Strait Point is they do have several restaurants. One that Kim really wanted to go to, that we got there late, she couldn't go to, she really wanted to do.
So on the beach, they kind of had a little restaurant that was grilling oysters. By the time we got there at the end of the day, they were out of oysters, kind of bummed out. But I guess we have a reason to go back.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a cool area, kind of open, had a fire, everything else going.
S'mores making.
Yep, it was really neat. There are a couple other restaurants. There's one that's right by the very front, which I believe is called Duck Point. I'll put their proper name here. Most people said it was like burgers and stuff. We didn't go there because we were after one thing, and what we wanted for Alaska is, well,
crabs.
Yeah, so we wanted that seafood.
So we ended up going over towards the cannery museum, and we went to the crab house. Now, their menu was really kind of fun. I liked how they had different seafood, but it had like a nice little bar. I noticed a lot of crew from our ship was hanging out there. Yeah. So, if that's where the crew's hanging out, you've probably found a good spot. And they had really good large crab legs.
Yeah, they had great crab. I'm showing the plate right now, and it was really good. Here's our secret to Icy Strait Point. All of our trips at places we went to Alaska, this was the cheapest place to get crab.
And we were actually shocked. We thought because it was a little bit more remote than the other places that we went in Alaska, this would be the most expensive. So we didn't get that much. We just kept thinking we go to towns and go further inland and we get better seafood prices, which we didn't. They also had a seafood chowder that was delicious.
Yeah. Thing about ordering here is you're going to have to go all the way back in the back of the restaurant and actually physically order and then find your table and sit down, and then they'll bring out your food to you. But really, we had a good time. The cruise that was there, obviously it was their day off. We're having a good time. It was just a relaxing place to eat and have a good time. I think it's a good time too many times.
It was just a nice, relaxing place to be. It had a good vibe to it. So I would definitely go back there if we went to Icy Strait Point again.
Mm-hmm. Another great thing about Icy Strait Point is just that walking around. We walked past some of the old homes that are there. There's an old cemetery. It's really neat area.
Absolutely.
And a cool thing that they've just added recently is from the artist Wyland is that big whale.
So that's kind of cool. If you're one of our Disney fans watching, they also have a Wayland Gallery over at the Boardwalk Inn and Villas. They have a cute shop and they have lots of artwork, but it's Wyland, so.
That's where that came from. Although that's not Wyland, that is a Alfredo, but we bought it at the Wyland Gallery, so we're very familiar with the artwork over there. Very
cool artwork. It's gorgeous in this port, and it just fits in. Great photo op stop.
So if you're finding this video helpful, please like,
subscribe,
and follow along with our Ohana.
Also, I'm going to say, I think we both agreed this was one of our favorite ports.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell by our tone and voice, we absolutely love this port. And Icy Strait Point was one of those ports that felt Alaska to us. It's what we expected for Alaska. And we haven't, neither one of us have been to Alaska before.
So we actually thought with all the trees and the whales and just beautiful outdoors, and it was just spectacular. The beauty of the area is amazing. It is not this big, busy town. Like when we went to Juneau, we felt like Juneau was touristy in like a overpopulated way.
Yeah.
This did not feel overpopulated. It felt like you could get away from people, really enjoy the area, and get some good fresh air.
Other than the whale watching, take a look at those other excursions you can take. There was ATVs, there's a whole bunch of nature things to do, and if we went back, I think we would do a lot more of those things.
Yeah, we would do something else because we already did the whale watching, which we would highly recommend. If you haven't done whale watching like that before, it's amazing, and we were extremely happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we loved it.
Actually, I think you and I both agreed. We go so far as we'd actually, from now on, pick an itinerary to Alaska that included Icy Strait Point.
That's how much we loved it. It actually became, because we're going to be doing a series on the other ports, our favorite port that we went to. So with that, I think it's time for us to say goodbye and
find your magic. Bye, everyone.